On the distant world of Kiveris, an esteemed academy stood among the stars, where the galaxy's brightest minds gathered to learn the ways of war, diplomacy, and the manipulation of power. Here, a young alien student, Avarix, of the Android species, known for their lethal prowess and cold intellect, was about to attend a lecture that would change everything he believed about the universe. Avirix had been trained his whole life to embrace the philosophy that the strong had the right to rule, and the weak should serve or perish. It was the natural order of things. Varus' prestigious war academy specialized in preparing young minds like his for galactic conquest. Throughout his years of study, Avirix had encountered many species, but none had fascinated him as much as humans. He'd heard the stories, legends really, of humanity's raw power and unyielding determination. Yet, despite their history of countless wars and conflicts, the humans had an odd reputation, one that left the galaxy confused and intrigued. Today's lecture was about the most recent human encounter, an event that had left the entire academy buzzing with disbelief. The subject, the human way, mercy before war. It was not something Avirix had ever expected to hear. How could a species so capable of destruction, so perfectly suited for war, choose mercy instead of triumph? It was a concept utterly alien to him. The room filled with students from various species, all eager to hear about this strange human behavior. The instructor, a senior officer from the Galactic Council, began his lecture with a series of images displayed on a massive screen. Avirix's eyes narrowed as he recognized the subject of the lecture, a war that had recently taken place between humanity and a formidable enemy, the Vathrix, a brutal race known for their relentless violence. The Vathrix had invaded a human colony, ravaging it with overwhelming force. By all accounts, the humans were at the brink of annihilation, but at the final moments of the conflict, when the Vathrix stood victorious, the humans did something unexpected. They did not retaliate. They did not call upon their armies to strike back. Instead, the humans sent a message to the Vathrix leadership, offering peace talks. The Vathrix were in disbelief, the instructor explained. They had expected nothing less than the extinction of their species. After all, the humans had faced invasions and near extinction before. Yet, instead of annihilation, they offered peace, even when they were losing. Avirix shook his head in confusion. "This is a mistake," he muttered under his breath. "Humans are weak." His words were met with curious glances from his peers, but the instructor continued, not giving Avirix the opportunity to voice his skepticism further. "They were not weak," the instructor responded. "They were merciful. The humans chose mercy because, in their culture, they believe that the true strength of a species lies not in their ability to destroy, but in their capacity to forgive." Avirix clenched his fists, his mind racing. How could mercy be a strength? How could the humans not have crushed their enemies, especially after everything the Vathrix had done to them? He had been taught that strength meant domination, not peace. The images on the screen changed, now showing the aftermath of the peace talks. The humans, who were expected to be humiliated by the Vathrix, had instead negotiated a treaty that would allow both species to coexist peacefully. The Vathrix, still reeling from their shock, had no choice but to accept. "And that, students, is the human way," the instructor concluded. "When given the choice between victory and vengeance, they choose mercy, not because they are weak, but because they believe true strength comes from overcoming the desire for destruction. They know that in war there are no true winners. There are only survivors." Avirix sat in stunned silence. The concept seemed impossible. In his world, mercy was a weakness. It was something that only the inferior practiced. He had never considered that mercy could be a weapon, as powerful as any laser cannon or warship. As the class ended, Avirix couldn't shake the feeling that something had shifted inside him. He had come to Kiveris to learn the ways of conquest, but now he found himself questioning everything he had been taught. How could humans possess such incredible power and still choose to spare their enemies? Could there be strength in mercy after all? That night, as he lay in his dormitory, Avirix stared at the stars outside his window. The vastness of space had always filled him with a sense of superiority. His species had conquered worlds, laid waste to entire civilizations. But now, he wondered if there was more to strength than what he had been told. Could the humans, the seemingly primitive species, truly understand something that Averix did not? The next day, Averix sought out the humans on campus. There were a few studying alongside other species, their presence in the academy a testament to the respect they had earned through sheer willpower. He approached one, a young human named Jonathan, who was sitting alone by a holographic map of the galaxy. "Excuse me," Averix began hesitantly, his voice filled with curiosity. "I've been learning about your species, about your way of mercy." Jonathan looked up, a gentle smile crossing his face. "Yeah, we're kind of known for that, I guess." "I don't understand," Averix admitted. "Why would you choose mercy over victory? In my culture, we are taught that mercy is weakness." Jonathan chuckled softly, his eyes filled with understanding. "It's not about weakness. It's about making a choice. Victory in battle doesn't define us. How we treat others, even those who have hurt us, is what makes us stronger." Averix was silent for a long moment, processing the words. In that moment, something within him began to change. Perhaps strength wasn't just about domination. Perhaps, in some strange way, mercy was its own form of power. As Averix left the conversation, he looked out at the stars again. He no longer saw the vastness as a place to conquer, but as a universe full of possibilities, of mercy, of strength, and of understanding. The galaxy was far more complicated than he had ever imagined.